Do you know the feeling you get when you help someone? It feels awesome, right? Even the smallest help can feel like a huge success. But even more so, when you're the one yelling, "Help!" then those people are likely to have your back. Now today I want to reach out with a quite non-spiritual topic, but instead with a psychological one. And I'm referring to it as the principle of help. So of course you have helped someone in some way in the past, and vice versa. Of course someone else, be it a close friend, be it a relative, or even a random stranger, has also helped you in some way. Now recall the sensation you had back then. In the first case, according to which you have helped someone else, you probably felt fulfilled and motivated that you could make somebody happy. And it doesn't really matter with what you help that person. So you could have saved their life or just showed them the way to a location they wanted to visit. It doesn't make a difference because both cases are situated in the state of gratitude. And dealing with gratitude always creates a positive vibe. On the other hand, we have the situation at which you're being helped by someone else. Now, same as above, it doesn't really matter with what you're being helped, because in the end you will likely feel this feeling of gratitude on some level. Additionally to that, you'll probably be in the state of harmony and togetherness. And all of those are situated on the positive scale of emotions and feelings. You could say those are expressions of high vibrational energy around, because it just feels light and happy. Now remind yourself what I told you in the last video regarding energy and human interactions. Now communication is nothing different than an exchange of energy between beings. And now, since we have this high vibrational energy of gratitude around, all of those interactions will likely be happy and harmonious. Well, it sounds quite easy, right? It does. But the thing is, we still have this other side of this vibrational scale, which is also highly present. That depends on your focus. So are you more focused on gratitude or are you more focused on grudge? Because unlike gratitude, grudge is a low vibrational energy, which is heavy and negative. And sadly, it seems to be way more prevalent than its positive counterpart. So according to my experiences and observations, with one reason for being grateful, often comes 5 reasons for being resentful. The problem is simply that too many people are way too focused on negativity, and as a result, it is too easy for the negative scale to show up. And as mostly, it is just an unconscious process. Though we have always the chance to counteract that. Once again reminding you of free will. So having said that, helping is one thing, but what happens if there are people around that don't want to be helped by others? May it be of pride or egoism? Well, I have a perfect example for that case, I can tell you firsthand. So I'm talking about my grandma, who is the kind of person that is so filled with pride and self-esteem. And as a result, she oftentimes refuses any help that comes from the outside. Meanwhile, I really have to go into her direction in order to get the chance to help her with something. Because otherwise, she would just do it on her own. And the problem is simply, as it is in most cases, it's all because of an unconscious paradigm, a little piece of programming that determines our daily actions and reactions. But again, the easy way to change such paradigms for good is to work consciously on them. Regarding that, I also made the experience that many people just refuse to change themselves. So to speak, many desire physical world change, whereby first and foremost, they just had to change themselves primarily. That is also the case for my mother, who is vital for my second example, for avoiding help or being helped. Now she, unlike my grandma, is the kind of person that especially refuses help when she is already in the state of resentment. Even though exactly then the principle of help would be substantial for bringing her out of there. So it is just another example that shows how much unconscious negativity is involved sometimes. Now this is not intended to be some sort of secret criticism. It is rather a pars pro toto, which means one part stands for the whole, or at least major percentages of the whole. If it is criticism after all, then it is my intention to show how unnecessary and useless that negative scale really is, or better, how inefficient it really is to focus on that polarity all the time. Because what I learned is that help is so much more than just a deed or a little action. It really is an essential medium for positivity to show up, a physical reason to be positive, or more so, a factor to finally establish the positivity and compassion everyone deserves. Because after all, not only the person being helped draws a benefit from the situation, but instead, basically everyone that is involved. So you don't need to be a lifesaver at all, even if it means just helping this random old lady over there, across the street. Just know that you made a huge step towards a brighter tomorrow, for yourself as well as for the whole collective. And besides, of course you made the life of this random old lady a little bit safer. Just be certain that you can help basically with anything, even by making a random compliment to a stranger. But especially that is such a big deal for so many, because sadly, many are still living in this world of separation. But nevertheless, you would make this random person feel way better. Of course, after a while wondering as to why a stranger would come over and make a compliment to him or her. Now to finish this, by creating something in that extent, by attempting to create such a spot of positivity and connectedness, you truly have the right to call yourself a hero of tomorrow. So although this video was widely psychological, I couldn't do it without at least a little bit of spirituality. I hope you can forgive me. For now, my friends, be brave, be helpful, and help others. But before you do that, help yourself primarily, in order to help others properly. Until next time, my heroes.